Mrs. Labasso here. For those of you that have never had me as a teacher before, I wanted to give you like kind of a quick way to get to my classroom. If you look down the hall here, that comes right from the main office. So if you come in the main entrance and make a left, that will take you right down the hall into my classroom, which is B104. Hi everybody, I wanted to show you a couple things around my classroom just to get you acclimated, and this will be posted on my YouTube personal page for all of my classes. So if you look over here at the board, there'll be two boxes. The top one is for APUSH history. There'll be an objective, and that lets you know what we're doing today, and where it says HWK, that will be the homework assignment. And this will also be posted on Google Classroom for all of my remote students. So also up here on the board is my email address, jlobas@esberg.org. That is probably the best way to contact me. And the rest I'll talk about a little bit later. Shifting gears over here, this is for my APUSH students. Your summer work included the very first section, and I wanted to take a moment to review the key concepts and the things that you should be pretty solid on. Section 1 is from 1491 to 1607, and that only accounts for 5% of the AP test, so it's not a large portion at all. These are the main ideas that you should be familiar with. So the first one is to understand the different tribes, their way of life, all Native Americans before Europeans arrived. So make sure you have a firm handle on that. The second concept deals with the Columbian Exchange, and there's an entire section in your book devoted to that. We'll talk a little bit more about that. The third section is interactions between Europeans and the natives. And you need to know the negative interactions, but you should also be really familiar with some of the positive interactions, and also ultimately how that worked out for most of the natives. The final section deals with Jamestown, which was the first permanent settlement. That was in 1607 in the US by Europeans. It's in Virginia. And you should know a little bit about the creation of the settlement and the key players. The beginning of the textbook will have all of the key concepts, and they'll also have a bunch of the different kinds of vocabulary terms you should be familiar with. So if you could review those again before I see you in class, that would be awesome. Moving back here, the way the class is designed, it's not so much fact-based. It's not a giant trivia quiz. It asks you to take the information that you know and to apply it in some way. And that's done through DBQs, short essays, using primary documents, and also just essential questions. So if you take a look up here, these would be an example of the essential questions that would be used for the first section. Number 1, in what ways were Native American societies similar and how are they different? Number 2, what historical forces caused Europeans to conquer territories in the Americas? And number 3, how did the Columbian Exchange lead to demographic shifts on both sides of the Atlantic? So they are thought-provoking questions. If you already can answer these 3 questions, then you've done your summer work and you are in great shape to start school next week. Another tool that you'll want to play around with a little bit is my virtual classroom. I've actually added a few things since I did the Screencastify. And if you could, a lot of these have apps. You probably have the YouTube app. If you don't have the Flipgrid app, you should download that. Google Classroom, you should download that, along with Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Drive. It's just going to make your life a whole lot easier. Also, you can play around with some of the different icons and pictures, because they will take you to different links, okay, that you might need. So if you have time this week, it would be really, really great if you could check out the site, and if you have any questions, let me know. Tuning in, guys. I cannot wait to see you guys in person and get to know you. And I know some of you probably are a little nervous, whether you're learning remotely or whether you're here in the hybrid schedule, but we are definitely going to make it work for all of you guys and make it an exciting and fun year. So please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys soon.